Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so very much to my super chat. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, please subscribe to H.A. Goodman's other channel. I have a very, very important segment up on there right after this. And if you look, I've changed my Bizarro World Goodman. It was a comedy channel. Then it became another H.A. Goodman channel. So that's actually what the name of it is now, another H.A. Goodman channel. But so I will officially introduce that to the world either tomorrow or the next day. And so that's going to happen very soon. But H.A. Goodman's other channel, over 15,000 subs, definitely check that out. That is below in the description section. And another H.A. Goodman channel is going to be, actually, I'll give you the link right now. Here's the link to yet another H.A. Goodman channel. So the naming of these channels are just, it's pretty ingenious, I know. But I want to tell you, I want to give you a different take on things, because you're gonna hear doom and gloom from a lot of people, and a lot of people are gonna look and they're gonna say, "Oh my God." There's just doom and gloom, and the sky is falling, and everything is horrible, and, what's going to happen? Ladies and gentlemen, Democrats are not very good at politics. They're very fortunate they got the House. They didn't get the Senate. They don't have the Supreme Court. They won't have the executive. And the House was just a historical... That's just basically history. Okay, so they were fortunate, and they had a media that was rabid, frothing at the mouth, maniacal. I mean, apoplectic and hysterical, like most Democratic voters. If they don't have the media propping them up at every second of the day, they don't win. And if they don't outspend a Republican the average Republican barely defeats the average Democrat. Barely. Like Ted Cruz, he defeated Beto O'Rourke, but like I said he would. But Beto O'Rourke outspent Ted Cruz almost 2-1. And he got somewhat close. My point is this. You look at Minnesota and you say to yourself, okay, is Minnesota possible? Can Trump actually win Minnesota? That's 10 extra Electoral College votes. That is 10 extra Electoral College votes, ladies and gentlemen. That's supposed to be a safe blue state. Now, isn't it interesting how Minnesota is now in complete... Minneapolis and Minnesota are now in complete and utter mayhem. You have George Floyd losing his life in Minnesota, or Minneapolis. Orange Grove 55! I have a YouTube channel, thinking about deactivating my channel Twitter due to Twitter being so toxic. Did you get less YouTube traffic? No, Twitter has no bearing on YouTube. That's the one thing I learned. Orange Grove 55. Twitter has no bearing. I'll get to that in a second. Great question. I'll elaborate. But you had a man losing his life in a blue state with Amy Klobuchar as senator, who Amy Klobuchar didn't even prosecute the officer who committed the crime. So George Floyd was murdered. Eric Garner was as well in New York. Okay. These are blue states. You had de Blasio, you had Andrew Cuomo, you have Schumer, Gillibrand in New York, and you have Justin Trudeau wannabe, the mayor of Minneapolis, and then you have Tim Walz as governor, and then you have two senators and Amy Klobuchar who didn't even prosecute the officer. But Orange Grove 55, thank you. That's one thing I learned about Twitter. One thing I learned about Twitter and Facebook. They don't. It doesn't matter in terms of YouTube, your view count. It doesn't help you. It just does not help you. You would think that it does, but I mean, it's just marginal. So don't worry about that. Orange Grove 55. I suggest everyone. Do you understand how much time I would have wasted if I had Twitter? How many arguments I would have gotten into? I haven't had Twitter for close to 2 years now. And Facebook. Eric H526, hello. Luke St. Martin, hello. Luke St. Martin, be safe. If you're traveling, be safe. Eric H526, hello. So Orange Grove 55. Please, please, please delete the Twitter account. It's the best thing that'll ever happen. But if you look, you have Minnesota now is in play for Republicans or for Trump. Why? If you look, Clinton only won by what, 43,000 votes. Around 43,600 votes. Okay? President Trump won most of the counties. He won most of the rural. Minnesota is mostly a rural state. But the cities, Minneapolis, and a couple of other urban areas, those, just like urban areas in every other state, go Democrat. What do you think is going to happen? So in my long-winded and boring manner, for 7 minutes, what do you think is going to happen? Orange Grove 55, thank you again. What do you think is going to happen, ladies and gentlemen? If Minnesota almost went to Trump, and you have a president that had record low unemployment prior to this, and he's winning swing states already over Biden, who won't be nominee, I'm beginning to think that Democrats do not care if they lose, and Clinton does not care if she loses again, because she'll roll the dice again. She could possibly win because the people around Clinton, the people within the Democratic Party, who, and share my Times of Israel article everywhere, ladies and gentlemen. It's below in the pinned comment. Hillary Clinton, not Biden, will be nominee. And share my Huffington Post article. Hillary Clinton 2020 is a reality. Get ready for 8 years of Trump. They don't see this. Look, NPR quoted me, and I wrote that in 2017. NPR quoted me, and that's below also. In 2015, I said Clinton wouldn't win swing states. She didn't. I said Clinton was unelectable. She was. 538 said Trump wouldn't even be GOP nominee. I was quoted within the same NPR article. But you have to ask yourself, if voter turnout is essential, it's critical. Without voter turnout, Democrats have no chance. They spent 3 years complaining and bragging and boasting and pontificating about how they won the popular vote. They outspent Trump 2-1. They outspent Trump 2-1, and California and New York are the most populous states that are just blue states. So yeah, they won the popular vote by around 3 million votes. They're not going with Biden because Biden right now is serving as a placeholder so he can take all the negative political assaults. He could take all the negative political ads and all the negative political, political attacks against his campaign. And then in August, that's the platform for Madam Secretary to rise up like a phoenix. And then Biden is jettisoned very quickly. If they have any chance at winning, she had a chance. Madam Secretary had a chance. It's not going to be Biden, but she had a chance. This is what happened. The average American, the average independent voter, which is already leaning, this person is already leaning towards Trump. The independent voter knows that we had record low unemployment. Salome! Baptiste Smith, bonjour, Eche. I have a class teaching online in 3 hours. Salome! Hello, thank you so very much. Thank you so very much. Have a wonderful time teaching and thank you. Merci beaucoup. Thank you, Salome. Hope all is well. Hope all is well, Salome. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, what do you think happens in urban environments and cities that are now completely being torn apart in November? Do you think they're blaming Trump? They might not. People might not even like President Trump. But the whole point is, let's just say I'm wrong for a second. Let's say I'm wrong for a second. Let's say it's Biden. It ain't going to be Biden because they're not going to it's a political machine run by the Clintons. Doug! F610! Will HRC show up for hearing tomorrow? I don't know. I don't know. I would have to look at Tom Fitton's and then these people, the same people who claim to be like storming the beaches of Normandy, and they just monuments, including World War II memorial, were vandalized. So it's like, I mean, it's really unbelievable. But I'm not sure. I'm not sure. Doug F610, thank you. I'm not sure, to tell you the truth. I can say this. Let's see. Tom Fitton. And you have President Trump. The average American is not. This is what they don't get. This is what Democrats don't get. Hold on one second. I'm looking at Tom Fitton's timeline. Let's see, Judicial Watch. I'm trying to find the Judicial Watch timeline. So Judicial Watch announced that a hearing will be held on Tuesday by teleconference. Okay. So they're still avoiding it. They're still trying to. So Cheryl Mills and Clinton are still trying to avoid it. Judicial Watch announced that a hearing will be held on Tuesday, June 2nd by teleconference in U.S. Court of Appeals by D.C. Circuit regarding former Secretary Hillary Clinton's efforts to avoid testifying under oath about her emails. So the appellate court is considering Clinton and Mills' extraordinary request, known as a petition of writ mandamus, to overturn an order issued by U.S. District Court Judge Royce L. Lambert. And very likely, Madam Secretary is saying, hey, look, I'm running. So very likely that's part of the calculus. Hey, I'm running here. I'm running for president. So it's just a Octavio Sandoval. Yes, we are going to make it. We will make it. We will definitely make it. We will definitely make it. Octavio Sandoval, thank you. Doug F610. Will HRC show up for hearing tomorrow? So no, I think it's just a let's put this on. It's just a it's a teleconference to see if they're going to if Clinton and Cheryl Mills are going to be forced to testify, which I believe they are. Either way, it really won't matter until after the election. None of this will matter until after the election. This was the biggest cybersecurity debacle, cybersecurity crime in U.S. history. But that's a whole other story. I mean, regarding the election, President Trump, all of this, inadvertently, unintentionally helps President Trump. They don't get it, too. Like, they do not get it. They think that they're making life so difficult and there's so much chaos and uncertainty that people will say, oh my goodness, I give up. We tried President Trump. We tried Trump. We tried the orange menace, and it didn't work out. We tried the orange menace, and it didn't work out. And you know what? It was a mistake. It was a mistake. And we'll never do that again. That was a big mistake. So, that's what they think people will say. The reality, however, is different. Trump is already winning swing states. And you're looking at Michigan. Whitmer is already unpopular. And you're looking at already the National Guard in all of these Democratic-run cities. So the Democrats are speaking out of two sides of their mouth all the time. They're saying, oh my God, look at what Trump is doing. And then they're saying, please help us, President. Help us, President Trump. Help us with federal funding to pay for, protection to stay here longer in the National Guard. That's what Whitmer asked for. The issue with Democratic voters and, like, for example, when Biden said, If you have to think about whether you're for me or Trump, then you ain't black. That already was an issue with voters in terms of voter turnout. That hurt the Democratic Party. And he has to tank his campaign. So Biden has to tank his campaign. He has to tank his campaign. He has to. I can't even repeat what he said today. I cannot even repeat what he said today. It was so absurd. I can't even repeat what he said today. It was so utterly absurd. But he did it again. But if you look at Minnesota's now in play. President Trump gets 10 Electoral College votes from Minnesota. I mean, they're done. They need everything to go their way, people. They know they need everything to go their way. You had record low unemployment, and they have the Green New Deal that in the Rust Belt, Michigan, Ohio, Pennsylvania, they're done. You had Biden telling coal miners to learn to code. They're taking social media and Twitter down with them. You should see. Thank God I don't have Twitter. It is the cyber version of, like, I don't know how to explain, but all you have is, like, you have a hub of the most intense contempt, the most vitriol for President Trump. It's like this cyber reality where most of it is devoted to just vitriol and contempt for President Trump. That's it. That's it. And you should say, oh my God, our country, what's our country? But they did this every day for 4 years. Oh, Russia, you know, he worked with Ukraine, he's trying to interfere. Oh my God, Trump and this pandemic. Oh my God, he's trying to be a complete despot. Look what he's doing. Everything is, they're apoplectic, hysterical, rabid, and maniacal all the time. Oh, he's lying again. What is going on? All they've done is lie. Every day that they said that Trump could have worked with Russia, that never happened. There was never even reason to be suspicious. They were only confident about information that they purchased. They literally purchased information and obtained gossip and hearsay and said, well, we're confident based on the gossip and the hearsay we purchased. But look, if you look at the map here, Minnesota results, you had Gary Johnson taking 112,000 votes away from President Trump. Justin Amash isn't going to take 112,000 votes away. The Libertarian Party is pretty much non-existent. The Green Party has a bigger presence than the Libertarian Party. Without Gary Johnson, Trump easily defeats Clinton. And Jill Stein only got 36,000. But you have Gary Johnson, and you have Evan McMullin. That's close to 200,000 votes right there that Trump could have. Well, Evan McMullin is independent. Omar Pena! Hello, everyone. Hope everyone is safe and healthy. Omar, thank you. But you have, ladies and gentlemen, you have I guess he would be more on Democrat. He'd be oh yeah, he doesn't like Trump. Then they keep on bringing up Trump posing the Bible. That means more to people because the left is like, oh yeah, look what he's doing. But they don't get it. They don't understand. So Trump's posing with a Bible in front of a church after mobilizing the military against the people. No, he's not. He's mobilizing the military against people who are vandalizing and burning down businesses and beating up people and committing major atrocities and crimes. That's what he's doing. That's what the average American wants. It doesn't matter where you're from. So, how many will play along because they too require a faux moral justification for their support? Authoritarian aspirations. This happened under George Herbert Walker Bush also. It would have happened under President Obama if this was as coordinated as this happened all throughout President Obama's administration. Interestingly enough, without many of the groups that suddenly popped up during Trump's administration. So imagine. Then you have even Keith Ellison saying, well, yeah, there's a lot of people from out of state. Even the Democrats know what's going on. But, they're going to take everything. They're going to take everything, twist everything, get retweeted a million times. You need some media presence, but social media is it's irrelevant whether you get retweeted a million times. It's completely irrelevant. Bernie Sanders proved you can get retweeted 1 trillion times and have zero influence in your political party. So, Jimbo! Trump will be the nominee. Get ready for 4 years of Biden. Jimbo! Biden 2020 is a reality. Get ready for 8 years of Adam Schiff. Jimbo, thank you. Jimbo, thank you. Jimbo, you know what? This is the thing. It's unbelievable, Jimbo and everyone else. This is amazing because protesters dispersed so Trump could pose at a church. Yes, so what? What? I don't understand what the big deal is with that. The president of the United States wants to take a photo at a church that was vandalized. And you know that these protesters set fire to a whole bunch of things outside the White House. So I don't understand what the problem is. These protesters are not protesting George Floyd. That's unfortunate. That's the unfortunate, issue here. These people now, very few, I would say. God bless his memory. He was murdered. Yes, but how is destroying black-owned businesses, which is what's taking place? There are black entrepreneurs who have lost everything, who have lost their life's dreams. How on earth does this uphold anyone's memory? Religious leaders outraged over Trump's church photo op. No, the most religious are not outraged at all. Religious leaders are not outraged. They're like the actual religious leaders. He's saying that he's going to protect churches. He's going to protect, and he's always, even when the whole shutdown thing, the Justice Department said, hey, wait a second, you can't shut down and lock down churches, but open up liquor stores. But see, again, they're so out of touch. They're so out of touch with why anyone would vote for President Trump. They don't get it. They have zero clue. They have absolutely zero clue. They don't understand what Trump does. They don't understand who he speaks to. They think it's like this nefarious base of horrible human beings. How's it going, Missy? Missy, thank you. I didn't see that. Missy, thank you. Christopher. These far left are turning off the American public. The situation is not good for Democrats. Never. No, definitely not. Missy and Christopher, definitely not. But they don't see. This is the thing. They don't understand that. They think that the world, Christopher and Missy, thank you, Christopher. They think the world sees everything through their lenses. So you're talking about narcissists who don't have the ability to see things through another vantage point. And that's why in November it's going to be not a good thing. They can't possibly, Christopher, they can't possibly see the world in a different way from how it's presented on Twitter. They can't do it. If they did, their whole political paradigm would be overturned. Salome! I send you a scanned photo of Janis Joplin by my uncle in Redwood City. Not sure I had the correct email. I check my email periodically. It's contactgoodman78@gmail.com. I'm going to check it again. Salome, thank you. Janis Joplin. Love Janis Joplin. Used to have a photo of her in my background. Thank you, Salome. Thank you so much. Salome, Baptiste Smith. Thank you for that. Valerie Rogers, I need my sangria. You getting a tattoo? Oh, Valerie, thank you. Is it a tattoo of Bernie Sanders? No, I was just joking. Valerie Rogers, thank you. Be safe. Be safe, Valerie. Sangria sounds good. Missy, Christopher, Salome, thank you. So, I mean, I could go on forever, everyone. I'm just going to repeat myself over and over again. President Trump, this is the thing. Democrats don't look. They don't look at the carnage and say, why is this happening in cities run by Democrats? Why is this happening in states run by Democrats? Why is there police brutality in cities run by Democrats? They don't understand. They don't see the horrendous videos of people getting assaulted and attacked. They don't care about the property. And see, the thing is, when Democrats view a brick through a business window, they react in the same way as the shutdown. It's two extremes. They say, well, you know what? You would rather, you just want to go ahead and make millions as opposed to staying home and keeping people safe from the pandemic. Like, it was never that choice. It was never, going on your yacht or licking toilet seats. It was never that dichotomy. But Democrats make it that way because if you ask Pelosi, she has 20,000 tons of ice cream. By the way, gourmet ice cream. Go look at the price of the ice cream that she had. It's really gourmet. It's like top of the line ice cream. Okay. Very good, by the way. But it's so she had like 10 tons of it. And no, not everybody has. People have bills. There are 35 million unemployed now. Everyone knows which side wants to open up the country. Which side before this was saying, man, we can't open up now. It's really too early for everyone. We have to make sure you're safe. We wouldn't want to open up before it's time. I mean, they're doing this. They have no shame. They have no shame. And then they say, oh my God, this is the America Trump wanted. It's like, no, you know what? Guess what? The mayors and the governors of your city are asking for extra protection. They're asking for extra protection. So, the mayors of the governors of blue states are saying one thing to protesters and then another thing to Trump. They're saying, help us. We need, to the federal government, they're saying we need protection. To everyone else, they're saying, oh, we're with you. I feel your pain. Oh, just by the way, bring in the National Guard, okay? Yeah, tanks, everything. Come on now. Need some protection. And no, people know this. You think that people don't know? You think that the Democratic voters generally don't see this? They know this. What's taking place is, I know this for like firsthand. It's like a psychosis. Their contempt for Trump is a psychosis. And God bless the president. He needs to be, the only thing that could, the only thing that could set this country into a very dangerous spiral is if, God forbid, something were to happen to President Trump because of the maniacal, rabid, establishment Democrats. You're talking about people who have devoted their lives. They've actually devoted their lives to contempt for Trump. That's it. They don't stand for anything else. Then you have Madam Secretary, who's of course going to be nominee, today saying, yeah, he's using his authority to go after Americans. So now it's not just like, people like, causing mayhem. It's Americans, all Americans. All Americans. Say they go ahead and they write these tweets that are with deceptive use of language, a broad use of language that Trump never said that he's going after all Americans with the military. He never said that. Or that's not what's taking place. Military is not going into your homes. If you're outside, see, this is the thing that you have to at this point right now, if you, this is the way the police and the National Guard work. I saw this to a certain extent, just, in college, during a football game, you see, there are certain times, if you try to rush the field or whatever, the police might have a heavy-handed approach. In this case, it's even 20 times more. If you're out protesting right now, after cities have been, set ablaze, then you're not safe. So you can say, oh my God, why is this happening? This is not fair. Yeah, but it's not fair because there happen to be really bad people that are taking advantage of the situation. So Democrats and media say this is peaceful. It's just peaceful. Yeah, there are a lot of people who are peaceful. There are also a lot of people who are throwing bricks in the windows. Okay, you cannot say that you are honoring the memory of somebody who is, whose life was taken, and then throw a brick into a window and then go in and vandalize everything. Sorry, there's not a person on the planet that says, oh, even Democrats don't even acknowledge it. They don't even acknowledge it. And this only helps President Trump. They can say whatever. They could try to mock him. But see, the thing is, at the end of the day, they don't get it. They don't get why anyone would vote for President Trump. So that's why they're going to lose again. That's why they're going to lose again. They have zero concept. They have zero concept, ladies and gentlemen. They don't understand. They have no clue. This is what a narcissist is. This is what an egotistical, megalomaniacal narcissist. This is why when Clinton is just relaxing. Are you kidding me? God bless Madam Secretary. She's fantastic. She'll make my prediction, the H.A. Goodman prophecy. It'll be remembered forever. Nobody is saying Clinton's running. Nobody is saying Clinton's going to be nominee. I've been telling you since 2017. All of this suits that analysis. And it's going to happen. And when it does, people, when Clinton becomes nominee, it's going to be seamless. It will not be, oh my God, this is what a surprise. It will be seamless. I'm talking absolutely seamless transition. They won't even bat an eye. So, and she'll lose again. She doesn't care. She doesn't care. In Minnesota, most counties are rural counties. They all went to Trump. But the turnout in Minneapolis, do you think it's going to be record turnout? You think that in November, you think that the people of Minneapolis are blaming Trump? They live with these Democrats. It's a machine. It's a Democratic machine, from Keith Ellison to the Justin Trudeau wannabe. Don't you love those young, handsome, young Democrats? Moral, looking into the sunset. Moral, righteous. Oopsie. Everything horrible that's taking place is these wonderful, morally righteous Democrats are presiding over. You take out Gary Johnson, Trump wins easily. I mean, easily. So, it's really interesting that like they don't see this. If let's say Trump gets Minnesota, it makes it that much worse. They're relying on record high in turnout. They're not going to get the turnout. People have lost their jobs, their income, and they're looking at their cities completely being dismantled and dissolving before their very eyes. And who do you think they're going to turn to? The Democrats who gleefully say, "Oh no, you have to, the pandemic is still with us," and who say, "Gosh, these protests are fantastic." Or they're going to say Trump, even if they don't like his personality. Independents know what's going on, people. So, ladies and gentlemen, God bless. To my super chat, thank you so very, very much. Everyone, stay safe, people. Stay safe. God bless you. God bless the memory of George Floyd and Eric Garner. You have to ask yourself, why did they lose their lives in democratic cities with democratic machines and democratic governors and democratic senators? And why in 2015 or 2014, Eric Garner lost his life in New York? Why didn't Democrats do anything? They spent 3 years obsessing over Russia. No legislation? No legislation to protect African Americans and black lives? No legislation from the Democrats. Oh, that's right. They were obsessed with Russia and then Ukraine. And then the pandemic. They don't care about voters. Ladies and gentlemen, God bless you. To my super chat, thank you. Be back tomorrow morning. I'll be back tomorrow morning. Check out H.A. Goodman's other channel right now. Right now, people. Thank you so very much. Stay safe, everyone, and God bless you. I'll see you tomorrow morning.